Yo, 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 yo. What up, family? What up? What up? What up? What up? Can y'all hear us? If you can hear us, put something in the chat. Let us know you can hear us. Oh, as a matter of fact, I think we got it locked in. We can hear it. All right. I am the host. Oh, first off, welcome back to the Who You Talking To show. I am one of the hosts, I guess. OleHead Rell from the To Be Fair show. And we got the Glizzy Gobbler himself, fresh off of a Glizzy.
Oh, fresh off.
Fresh off of a Glizzy. OleHead Senior. OleHead Senior. I appreciate you.
A lot of them care who tell it.
Hey, you damn sure you was guzzling something.
It wasn't a glizzy. Okay. All right. Whatever.
All right, well, we're gonna hop right into it, man, because this was and actually this was something. What's up?
The dog.
Okay. Well, we're gonna continue. I understand, but yeah, we had a conversation on the To Be Fair show last week, right? And I thought that it would have been hilarious for you to get to provide a take on what was being said, right? And those that watch the To Be Fair show know there was a conversation about the old generation of sex and the new generation. What was being said, which me and Tone was like, yeah, ain't nothing new up under the sun. You know what I mean? It's probably doing the same shit that's been done for years and years. But you fell on the idea that, and Johnny as well, I believe, they fell on the idea that we're doing something better than y'all were doing during the time period. You know what I mean? We popping and locking a different way. We you know what I mean? And the example that was used was corn with the P. And they were talking about like, yeah, go and look at the 1985 corn and look at the ones now. Like you know what I mean? They doing different things now than they was doing back in the day.
The cameras doing different things now than they was doing back in the day.
What you mean?
I'm saying the angle of the shot, things like, the camera could focus, it can autofocus.
The technology has advanced, so they're making.
But the thing that didn't change is a woman ain't got but 3 holes,
and they've been utilizing all of them the whole time.
The whole time.
Then they said that also, like, I remember Johnny specifically. He was talking about how the idea of like they weren't eating. You know what I mean? And so essentially,
okay. Well, what is eating?
That guys weren't eating. And
guys wasn't eating.
That's what you know what I mean? Niggas was saying they wasn't doing it.
Okay.
And women weren't.
Women wasn't sucking.
Right. And so that was the thing. And so, like, what do you have to say to take up for the 1985 corn?
The 1985 corn.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, considering the fact that I was partaking in that.
Exactly. That's why you're the perfect person to ask.
You know what I'm saying? Back then, in 1985.
85.
Yeah. So my take on that is the fact that men and women back then, I mean, you had the onesies and twosies, the hoes that didn't care. But if you were, I'm gonna say, outstanding citizen, for lack of a better term.
Outstanding citizen.
Yeah, if you was an outstanding citizen and you was a clean-cut young lady, a clean-cut gentleman, you didn't talk about those things. Your grandmama didn't talk about those things to you. And so you didn't talk about those things, you know what I mean? But if you want to know the truth,
what's the truth?
The truth is, y'all didn't invent eating pussy. Niggas just didn't. They wouldn't know that. White folk didn't give a fuck.
Well, I'm saying, so was it happening?
Black folk,
was it happening, or because what was said? It was what was being said was that no, I don't do that. And I remember when I was younger too. Like we told our lies. I remember saying I wasn't a virgin, that I was getting something that I dang sure wasn't getting. You know what I mean? So like, was it niggas just shoot? Was they lying?
Niggas was. What do y'all call it? Capping? Niggas was capping. Niggas was eating. They was eating pussy just like everybody do today. I'm telling you, because if you was in love with that woman and you was trying to keep her home, you was trying anything you could,
Everything.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
Vice versa. If you think your mama didn't in the 80s, if them ones that was back in my time, if you think they wasn't putting a wally in their mouth and working with it, then you are crazy. Because the simple fact is, vice versa. She wanted to keep that man home, whatever because she knew what them other girls out there was gonna do. She knew. So she was trying to keep, no disrespect, but ask your daddy. Don't ask him, did your mama, bob and weave on the Johnson? Don't ask her that. Don't ask him that. Ask him, do he like being serviced? Now, if the answer is yes, 1 + 1 = 2. I don't care if you put them this way or this way. 1 + 1 = 2. So mama was bobbing and weaving like everybody else. Just didn't talk about it. Yeah. So for y'all to think, that's just like the wheel. People, you can't invent the wheel. It's a wheel. You know what I mean? You can change what you put on the wheel, make better traction, change the design of the tread, but it's still a wheel. And it worked damn good back then, and it worked good now.
Yeah, they was talking about, them old niggas wasn't doing reverse cowboy and all that, and
also, niggas was beating the shit out of your mama. You don't know what you talking about. Beating the shit out of your mama, and she was enjoying it.
Enjoying it. It's something too I thought about too. I was talking to Tom, like, bro, hold on, what was happening in Freaknik during Freaknik? Like, there's no way that we can sit here and conjure up and think that like we're doing something that wasn't being done in the 90s, like where the what was it?
They was doing it in the cars.
Everything.
They was doing it behind the trash can. Everything that y'all. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. It ain't but so many ways you can eat some pudding. It ain't but so many ways. One brother might eat it longer. One of them might have, tongue might work a little faster than the other. You know what I mean? But it ain't but so many ways you can do it.
But then too, you also got to think about things like the roads, right? So like now, as I would say, as we've evolved technologically, then it'll be tougher to please a woman based on the fact that how you gonna keep up with that? I don't know. I ain't never like seen a rose in real life, or like you know what I mean. I don't know what it does.
I'm gonna be honest. I ain't never seen one either.
Yeah, I don't know what it does.
I ain't never seen.
But it's a reason why everybody knows what the fuck it is. It's obviously not a joke. That sun gun is obviously doing something better than the human capacity.
But let me ask you a question, though.
Yes.
Because of technology, y'all have access to things that we didn't have back then. But do it make sense that because of the rose, y'all can do more? You can't do nothing but the same thing you've been doing.
You can't do more.
That's technology. Now, if you want to say y'all got better technology than we had,
oh yeah, that's outside of the actual individuals that can do the thing. For sure. Yeah. You can get something that can do something way better than you can.
But standing up in the bed, having her back to the headboard and your hands up on the back of the headboard, you could do that.
Yeah.
You could do that.
They didn't invent no new holes.
Flip that ass around. I ain't seen no woman that had an extra hole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, listen. Women say, "Oh, I ain't gonna take it in the back door." All you got to do is beat that thing right, and she say, "I love you," and then you say you want it. Now, granted, you got women that say, now, I ain't gonna bet no money on it though.
Yeah.
But you got women that say they saving it for their husband. They say you can have any.
Okay.
You can have a mouth. You can have
I ain't never but that's something that I have heard like with white women when they're younger. They'll say like I'm a virgin. Yeah. But then only
they'll take it. Yeah.
And I ain't never, you know what I mean? I don't know anything about that. Like I said, I can't really speak. This is some shit I seen on movies and shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's not something that I know about in real life. I have no idea. But based on the way that they preference it, the way that they actually talk about it is that like they'll save themselves for marriage, but have, you know what I mean,
Anal.
sex it, yeah, they'll have sex in a different way.
Yeah, you can say anal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can say, yeah, I know I can, but
yeah, you can say ass too.
Yeah, you know
Okay.
At the end of the day, you know what I mean? The conversation ain't one.
I'm your daddy, but you know, I know you're nasty, motherfucker.
No, I ain't nasty, bro.
I
ain't nasty, bro. Oh, hey, y'all was eating buns.
Niggas was eating everything, bro. This ain't new.
Oh, where okay, bro? I need
this ain't
in the chat. I need in the chat.
Ass on.
Yeah, yeah. No, I just, you know what I mean? They at the end of the day, I'm cool. I ain't never done that before. I'm not interested in anything that side of things. I'm cool. I'm cool. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, because just imagine you do that and then kissing them on it. I'm not into that kind of, you know what I mean? That idea, I'm not into it. And it's a lot of people that do whatever they do. Y'all have fun, keep your relationship, however, you know what I mean? Like they say, like you have a longer relationship, then you have to do things to spark. You know what I mean? It calls to keep the spark going.
So that spark ain't gonna help,
that motherfucker's dead. I can tell you that now.
Hey, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm an open book.
So
I'm grown. I'm grown. I can say without a doubt. I don't give a shit. Bro.
Yeah.
I can say without a doubt. I can say I've done it before. I can't say that.
What did it taste like?
Yeah. It didn't taste like.
It didn't. Joking, bro.
No. It didn't taste like. You know what I mean? Because the person is clean.
You ain't get no
the
crumbs.
person is clean.
You ain't
but
get no crumbs.
I am one of those people that don't. I couldn't date a woman that liked it like regularly or whatever. Because when you put them legs up in the air and then you look and you can if you ever seen one that's been bitten somebody
tampered with,
yeah, I'm talking about not tampered. The tampered you can live with the tampered. I'm talking about one that's her shit. You know what I mean? Or who she was with somebody and that was his shit. Look like cauliflower. Just and then no, for real though. And then they what they call it, ass gapping or some shit like that. Man, I don't know what there's some technical term. I don't know really because that's not my forte.
Yeah.
But you put her legs up in the air and it looked like she got two pussies. Because it's open and it'll, you know.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying. That's why I don't like about it.
Yeah.
That's what because I don't want you to get to that point.
You
know what I mean? If you even liked it, it would be a thing for special occasions or something. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
This would be special occasions or something like that.
But
hilarious. To the point where, you know what I mean, it's open and then I'm being honest, we on the subject. And then, okay, you know, your ass closes.
We ain't got to. Oh, wait.
No. Listen. You asked the question. Now you don't want the answer.
We're weird.
Okay.
We're weird. Go ahead.
If you take it so much, it don't close all the way up. And especially, listen to me.
Yeah.
When you get a certain age, the elasticity, you lose some. And women out there know what I'm talking about. The elasticity. Yeah, well, the elasticity starts to dissipate. It get, you know what I mean? So now you don't close all the way up. Now, when you close up, that's what keeps the smell in. That's what keeps
other the reason why my wife didn't want to have a conversation.
Okay, but your wife didn't. It didn't matter enough for you not to ask me. So you asked me.
No, I was talking. What the general question was.
I'm just being honest.
No, I get you, but I'm just saying, like, I thought that it was funny because, like, the whole thing, like, Tone was like, "How do you know that we're doing something different?" I would assume that it's probably been the same thing.
There's men out there that like to get licked back there too.
Bro, now, I was in high school.
I am not one of those.
I remember I was in high school.
Don't touch me there.
Absolutely not.
Period.
I was in high school.
Because you get slapped. I'll slap your ass to sleep. I'm telling you, don't touch me right there.
No. I 100%.
And then those bisexual dudes, because I dated a girl who dated a bisexual dude. those bisexual dudes will try to tell women that every man likes that.
Absolutely not.
They will tell them that, and I know for a fact because I dated a girl that dated a dude that was bisexual.
Anybody talking that's absolutely not.
That
true.
is
don't
not
listen
true.
to these.
That
whoever
is
these
not
guys are,
true.
don't listen to these guys.
I don't want you licking
I will
it.
say,
I don't want you touching it. I don't want you to kiss near it. None of that.
I remember when I was in high school, there was a guy. I can't remember his name, which I wouldn't want to put his name out. But we was on the school bus, and he was saying that he was, you know what I mean, they was getting in the mode, and she messed around and was, you know what I mean, getting, you know what I mean, doing the job on the sack, and then licked the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He said that it pissed him off, but it felt so good. It pissed him off, but it felt so good that he say nothing. Bro, you can't have that, bro. This is just too much, bro.
I don't want to know what it feel like.
This is too.
Don't
I'm
make
cool
a mistake.
I'm cool on it.
No.
I'm cool on it.
No.
I ain't going. And then also, man, I'm gonna just go fucking say it. I ain't gonna lie. Like it was so deep in like. It was so pause. Fuck. What am I even saying? Pause. But for me, that was a thing that was so serious that like I had to learn that no, you still need to wash all the way. You understand what I'm saying?
She need to wash.
No. As me, I'm not talking about a woman. I'm talking about just me. Like you still gotta wash, but like you
ain't like the touch. You didn't like the wash.
I ain't want to even get to the point to where I'm really like. There's a place where you
gotta wash it.
You gotta wash it. It's like, but like.
If you don't, somebody gonna tell you don't.
My thing is, if you wash it too well, you borderline. Are you or no? I'm just saying.
No. You just gotta have plenty of soap in your rag and keep your rag balled up. You don't want to be, you know what I mean? You don't want to be able to feel.
I don't want to sit and talk to you about how to do this.
Yeah, you don't want to be able to feel the pressure of the finger. That's all I'm saying.
You talking about pressure and all that. We don't want to talk about those things.
You gotta keep your rag balled up.
Okay, I ain't open that up for you to pause.
Hey,
this is a pausable.
Cool.
This whole conversation is pausable.
Hey, it's cool.
It's not cool.
It
what
is.
Do you mean it's cool? No, it's not.
Everybody got one. Everybody use it.
Yeah, we ain't gonna.
But don't everybody use it for that thing?
Hey, that's just kind of like a little less.
I'm just saying. But you know, you just think about when you was little. When
your
mama came out the bedroom and your daddy was in there, or your stepdaddy was in there, and she said, "Good morning, baby." And then she gets you on the job.
Jeez.
and you don't know, because in your mind, you thinking that, old people, because I thought it. Old people don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. I'll tear some shit up. Still to the day. You know what I mean? But we in your mind, because I was like that when I was young. You don't, they ain't in there doing nothing. You know what I mean? They don't do, you know what I mean? And that's what you think, because I did. But you don't know. That'd be knocking her toss back. She come out there. Good morning. Oh Lord. Hey, for real. For real. Then you wonder why your daddy breath be bad in the morning.
Whole time he lied to his homeboys. No, I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. And then I think too is like when they use like the corn, when they were using the corn example, it's like also during that time, like you were saying, everybody was saying that they weren't doing certain things. So the corn, there's an audience that they're trying to capture, and so they know that socially these things aren't acceptable. So you're not going to see, they're tapped. So you're not going to see them go all the way like what's really happening.
That's right.
Now what it is nowadays, everything is a free for all and everything's okay.
And everybody know everybody do everything.
Yeah. OleHead, did you see this was some years ago? I was what was it? 2 Girls, 1 Cup. You ever heard of that?
No, I ain't never heard of that.
Bro.
I wasn't hard on porn though.
No, but this is not corn. These niggas was like women were shitting in cups and they was like rubbing shit all over them, and like it was actually I know for sure that the people in the chat you've heard of the 2 girls 1 cup. If you're not, depending on your age, maybe the upper age you ain't never heard of, but this was a thing that like went viral. I think this was the first thing I ever remember going viral. That was just like super crazy, and they was playing with shit, like literally like rubbing it on each other and like
see that's
pooping in each other's mouths,
like,
and
that's them people that like that extreme
crazy
pleasure where you got to tie them up and do all kind of. I'm not into that.
That's too far.
I'm not into that bondage and all of that,
for, bro.
I'm not into the bondage. I don't want to beat your ass till you damn near bleed. I don't want to do none of that.
No, that's crazy.
I check out.
That's crazy.
I check out. But I do understand that there's levels to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And all I got to say, if you're a man and you really love women, when you do something, you try to perfect the thing, perfect. And my head game is like that. I don't need no, you know what I mean? I check my resume, bro.
Stupid,
check my
bro.
resume. My head game is like that. Please understand, it's like that. I know it is. I done had, people tell me.
Yeah. I believe that. I ain't gonna go.
I'm just saying.
I ain't gonna go. I'm glad. Hey.
If you love something, it's just like it's. I don't understand. That's why I can't fathom in my head is what can you do with a man? Oh, if you love a woman like I love women,
but I would assume I
probably would vomit.
Yeah, I would assume that's the very thing. Is like they don't love men like women like you love women. So like then that changes the whole.
Yeah.
But we ain't going. Let's move the fuck forward. I'm kind of
Yeah, you done took it all to
no you just and everything.
No, you went to the feces.
I did. Yeah, but that was crazy though. That was the time. That thing was like that was a real thing. Like 2 girls. That was actually a real thing, and that shit is crazy.
I ain't never heard it.
Yeah, that was definitely a thing.
I ain't never heard it.
Oh, I think that LTO, shout out to LTO for being in the chat. She said also misinformation. It happens but not common. I'm assuming she's talking about the idea of like the whole virgin thing and like the women
okay.
Instead of that. Yeah. And so
the other side of that is there's women out there who won't let you hit the back door, but you could screw them because they saying they saving that for their husband because they want him to have. Yeah, because they want him to have something that ain't never been touched. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You heard of the born again virgin thing that they doing now?
How the hell you a born again virgin?
But that's the thing. That's what they doing now too. Like they talking about like now like celibacy. Could you imagine at your age? Let's say you're not married and you meet a woman and she's cool. Like you like her and she tells you like I'm celibate. Like I'm waiting until I get married for sex.
We could still be friends. And I would weigh it, you know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have to be able to tell me. And if you be around a person long enough, they can tell you what they want to tell you. But the ugly head will rear itself at some point. So if you tell me that you've been celibate for 5 years or more, I'll entertain it. Just for the fact that means we're gonna be going out and dating and this and that for a lengthy period of time.
A couple years before you can drop.
Before I can drop and before I'll even propose. So within that time, if we are entertaining each other as a couple, I'm gonna meet people.
Okay.
And people talk. Especially if y'all like to have fun and y'all go out, say clubbing or whatever, you have a couple of drinks, you go with friends and whatnot. Somebody gonna slip up and say something. And it's not that they're gonna say anything about the person cheating on you, but they're gonna reference to somebody you dated, and the time frame is gonna come up. So if you lying,
so what?
I'm done with you.
Yeah. But you would if you weren't married, you would be with the woman or talk to a woman and give that.
Yeah, because if she that person,
you
know what I'm saying? If she's that person, then I think it's worth waiting for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you made some mistakes, I done made some mistakes. You on a different time, you want to try something and try to do it what quote unquote is the right way. I respect it. But don't let us go out with some of your friends and somebody, you know, in the stories and the timeline don't line up.
Yeah.
Now you make me feel like you're trying to play me. You see what I'm saying? As the person in my position, you the woman, you saying no, I'm respecting that. And then I find out that, hey, you was, you know what I mean, jumping off ceiling fans, goddamn, 2 years ago or 18 months ago.
Yeah.
No.
What do you think about polygamy?
I don't think it's a such thing as polygamy.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's a such thing. I think it's man-made.
Of course, it's man-made, but
okay, so then I don't believe that there's a such thing.
What do you mean? It's like literally people who have like 2 women living in the same house or 3, however many women, and they know about each other, and they, you know what I mean? That
I don't think it's I don't think it's polygamy. Is my thing. What I'm saying is, I don't think that's polygamy.
What do you think it is?
I think it's 3 people or 4 people living together and going along with their lives. They doing what makes them happy. That's what I think it is. I think they came up with the term polygamy just because people get married, or because they think it should be 1 man and 1 woman. And man came up with that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's before our time. Just like y'all act like that, you know, sex is better now than it was then.
Yeah, they were saying that.
No,
That
it's not.
It was funny.
It's the same. It's just that people are more open about what they do when they have sex.
Everything's
to make you
now.
think that it's so much better now. No, it's not so much better. A girl would never tell nobody she'll suck a dick. Never. 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 Got cum in her teeth. Never. Yeah. So before, it was okay. And then when they come up with the marriage and all of this kind of stuff, and then now all of a sudden it's not okay. Then it's 1 woman, 1 man. It was never that way. It wasn't that way back. 1 man, 5, 6 women, 1 woman, 2 or 3 different men, whatever. All that shit was happening. And then they just gave it a name, made it taboo, just like weed. Weed, you could smoke weed back in the day. You could smoke it. It grew out the ground.
It was illegal, but they still did it.
No, I'm talking about it was not illegal.
Okay. You talking about back in the
Yes, it wasn't illegal. You could just smoke it. Then some people decided that they didn't like it and that it caused people to cheat and to be with multiple people.
That was a crazy
and all of that kind of stuff. And then they outlawed it.
Right.
And they said it did made you do bad things and all of this. And then these so-called Christian people, was right in there with it. You know what I'm saying? But none of that stuff. We didn't have none of that. There was none of that. You know, and you go back, to be perfectly honest, you can look in the Bible. They had men in there with many wives. Many of them. Just people came up with this stuff.
Yeah, as society has evolved, we kind of like have come up
and
with
it's gonna change again.
Yeah.
It's gonna change again.
Yeah. The polygamy thing too, like and it's crazy because like during, let's say, not even necessarily in your time, like my granddad's time, your father's time, it was during the time where the dude had a woman over here at this house and he had a woman here at this house, and you know what I mean? And it was
and
like
everybody knew.
Everybody knew, and it was like a understood thing.
Yeah.
It was just, do you think that, and see, this is the thing too, is it's like the way that we look at it now is like the reason why dudes were able to get off with that was because of the limited rights that women had.
Well,
and it was like dudes taking it, men taking advantage of the fact that women had limited ability to actually exercise their autonomy.
If the woman, if the woman had a good man that looked out for her and took care of her, and then he had another woman, another woman that he looked out for, and when he came into her life, her situation was better than it was when he came in there into his life. And so is the other woman. Both women, they live better with him than they did without. Then nobody should have no problem. The problem comes in for me when when you got a woman over here and she's suffering and struggling, but you're going over there taking up her time and yada yada, this, that, and the third. But then you got this woman over here, they living all good. It's all good over here. You know what I'm saying? That's when the problem. So that's why back in the day, like when not my daddy, but my daddy's daddy, back in them times, women were starting that stuff then. That's when those laws was starting to really take hold. But they did it. They had one over here and one over there. They had kids over here and kids over there. And so nobody said anything about it. Nobody talked about the kids. Everybody knew. You know, you got your circle of people that, you know, gossip and all of that. But for the most part, it wasn't taboo. It was the way people did. That's the way they moved. Yeah. But you know, my daddy said that women are very hard to get along with. And when you got turmoil and stuff going on in your house, and then you go over here and she just is nurturing and loving and caring or whatever, when you come back home, you in a better space. So that ass whooping that she would have got, now it ain't like that now. Yeah. But back in the day, that ass whooping that she would have got when you got back and she was still jaw jacking, that ass whooping she wouldn't have got. She wouldn't have got it. Because you good. You calm. Yeah. You go home, take your ass a shower, and go to sleep.
Yeah. But I was listening to Gilbert Arenas. He was on Vlad on the podcast, and he was talking about the same thing. He was talking about like the side chick. The idea of the side chick, which I honestly I just don't. Well, I'll talk about my take personally aside from this, but he was pretty much saying like a good side chick is one that's gonna keep your marriage together. She don't want you to. Her whole thing is that like you stay with your wife, and I'm going to her. You know what I mean? She's assisting in helping you stay with your wife, and
she's coaching you.
Right.
On stuff you shouldn't do because she a woman and she know that this is gonna cause a problem.
And then he was saying that like he was saying that essentially the side chick, the reason that she's coaching and doing, because number one, you peeling off, and then she understands that if you do become single, then that fucks up her whole shit.
Yes.
Because then you end up doing, you know what I mean, running around and doing whatever you want to do. So it'll fuck up her, Joan, because you now single if the marriage fails.
Yeah.
And then like I was saying, like I'm honestly, it's just too much for me. I got enough shit going on in my life to not even like going to work, the kids, doing the shows, doing, you know what I mean? I got too much. Ain't no way I could try to entertain and like that's just extra as fuck. That sounds like a very much more stressful life. I understand what he's saying. He's like, you know what I mean? If you got quarters, if you really can afford the shit. And that's just like in Eritrea where, you know what I mean, where my wife's from, she's from Eritrea. And I've seen, now I ain't going to research it, but they were saying like in Eritrea, they were like co-signing men that had means to have more wives because of the ratio from men to women.
I think they some smart people. Because if you look at the amount of heterosexual men that actually are in a position to make sure that both parties are okay versus that person being with just one person, there'd be a whole lot of women out here that wouldn't have no man, period.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be no kids being born, none of that stuff. Now, I don't believe in having I wouldn't want to be one that had kids over here and kids over there. And that's just a personal preference.
Mm.
But I don't see nothing wrong with it if you're okay with it.
Yeah, I think, yeah, if
You know what I mean?
if
But
your
see,
partner okay, then y'all do y'all thing.
a woman look at you as a piece of property, like the master used to look at black folk in the slave days. That's how a woman looks at you. She look at you like she owns your ass.
Well, I mean, at the same time, that's how we look at our women too. We look at them like they're ours. We've decided to be together, and I'm yours and you're mine, and so that's why the cheating thing is a big thing.
I understand that, but then at the same time, if that's the case, why don't you take care of me the way you expect me to take care of you? Why I got to be paying all of everything and all that? If you want to go, why how y'all get to have this, but they can negate this? But me as a man, in order to have this, I got to be willing to do this.
Yeah, no, honestly, in my opinion, I ain't going with you on that. I think that like as a
man, you're taking it out of context. I'm talking about if
you ain't let me get, but go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
No, because I think that goes into like the conversation of like like as a man taking pride in taking care of.
Yeah, but so why you can't take pride in taking care of too?
Because it's not the same thing. Because the thing is that like, and I understand if socially, I understand what you're saying. If socially this was the norm, then
you wouldn't think the way you think.
Right. I understand that.
And but you're indoctrinated.
Okay, I'm indoctrinated. That societally, there are societal norms that dictate what's right and wrong, and those things do change over time. But at the same time, what I believe, like, I believe that if you are to let's say let's say you got a woman here, your wife, and you're doing that, and then you got another woman. I believe that the money that you're spending over there takes from the primary, regardless of how you try and figure it out. It's taken away from what should be the priority.
Okay, so let me change it around a little bit for you. Okay, so you say it takes from what should be the priority.
Right.
Okay, so if you live in a scenario, to whether you do spend money over here and not all the money over here, that everybody has everything that they need, then what's the problem?
Yeah, it sounds good. That just sounds good because most of the guys that's doing it can't do that. Okay. So it's like what we talking about, at the very least 6 figures. At the very least. Then they said what? It's like 6%. What was it? 6% of black men make 6 figures. And I ain't fact checked that, but I just seen that earlier today. But then think about it though. Come on now. You there's not too many men. And that's why I understand, like, if you one of those guys, these super high earning guys, and you get with them, and the woman expects for you to be with the woman, like with them solely. I'm not saying that you should step out, but what I'm saying is that it should almost be kind of expected because of what's being thrown your way. But like, go ahead.
Okay. So you telling me that it takes 6 figures to be able to do that?
No, I didn't say it takes 6 figures. What I'm saying is that, no. What I'm saying to have 2 separate households where you're actually able to, it takes deep in the 6 to really like have a sustainable, completely sustainable house, 2 completely sustainable households. You know how many people making $40,000, $45,000, $50,000 a year? 2 people making, and together they're making 100 together, and it's still not sweet.
No.
What I'm saying, now try and do that 2 times.
See, that's the thing.
It was also, if you look at back in the day, the standard of living was much lower than it is now.
And also back in the day, and now today, it is true fact today. There's people that live in certain circumstances to whereas in what you have to offer will put them up a step from where they at. And because they were a step under that, they
appreciate your
they feel
contribution.
They they feel that contribution that you brings them up to the next level, and they're happy with that.
Yeah, I understand that.
So you don't have to make 6 figures to do that.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that, like, okay, on average,
you're not a man that can. You're not a person that is expected. You're not a person that's expected to do everything, because she know you got a wife and you got a house over there. But what she do want is for you to be able to give her some of those extras that she couldn't have before you came into the picture.
Understood.
And I watched my daddy do this.
Right.
I watched him do this. So that's where I'm getting this from.
And what I'm saying is that that's also when you're dealing with women that are at a certain space too. So like Corey Holcomb talks about it all the time. He talks about the fact that like he loved to deal with a motherfucker that need him. Which what I'm saying, because I like to need my wife, and I like my wife to need me too. But then I understand the premise of it, right? I understand the premise of it, but at the same time, I think that oftentimes what you will see, especially you talking about a family with your wife, you got kids, you got all of this going on with your wife. Then you're taking money. If you're an average guy, average guy's making less than $50,000 a year, right? So if you're an average guy, any money,
less than 50, yeah,
it's less than 50. So like you're taking the monies that should be to build your you know what I mean, your empire. You're taking that money and sending that money elsewhere, which is to the detriment of your children. Everything that you fucking attempted or quote unquote build, you're putting that all over there.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If you and your wife have a house, you and your wife has a car, each one of y'all have a car. Your kids ain't worried about where their next meal come from. Your utilities are paid, and y'all got a little bit of savings. If you content with what you got, and you have enough to where you can do said thing, where's the harm?
I understand what
if everybody's in your house is content as far as what they got. Now, there's people that want to reach for the stars. They want to reach for the stars.
Yeah, the trips and all that.
At some point, let's just say you didn't have this other woman on the side. At some point, you have to be happy with what you got. And if you're happy with what you got, and you doing well on your job or whatever it is you're doing, you're going to accumulate extra money. You're going to accumulate extra money. As long as every time you get a raise or you doing a little bit better, you don't go buy a bigger house.
Yeah.
Or a better car
every time.
New car every time. If you don't, then you will have extra. So they're not going without anything. They're just content and happy with what they got.
I understand what you're saying.
Even if she wasn't there and y'all kept stacking that money and y'all was happy, you kept stacking your money and y'all was happy and content. What you gonna do? Just keep saving money till you die?
Yeah, no. But then what I would say in the way I look at shit, and you know how I look at shit, is that like if I owe somebody, I don't have money.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
100%. Like if you owe a bill and you got money in the bank, you ain't got no money in the bank.
Money for real.
It ain't your money. You owe that to somebody.
Yeah.
So pay them.
Yeah, you know that, and I mean, but I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that also it's like, to me, I think that, and then also what you do is like they did back in the day. Okay, you got the family over here, you got the kids over here, then you got kids over there. Somebody's missing out. And so what you're doing is you're birthing kids that don't have the ability to actually see the man grow and see that you mean that togetherness, that household, that structure, that being married, the platform of marriage provides is like a system that, if you look at it, it's factual. Kids that come from married households do better than kids that don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kids that don't,
yeah,
they go to prison more than kids that come from the two families. Like there's a difference. So like what you're doing, you're also putting that up for grabs too.
That's if you're assuming that you are having kids over here. You assuming that you're having kids over there.
I understand.
Okay, so what if you're not? And what if the person that's over here is happy with the standard of living that you allowed them to go up to?
Yeah.
And then you're happy over here. So
what I will say,
it's still the same thing.
What I will say is that, like, if this is an understanding and agreed upon understanding like it was back in the day.
Yeah.
If it's agreed upon and everybody's understanding and it's cool, whatever works for you works for you. You know what I mean? In today's time, and this is just, it just don't work that way. You know what I mean? Everybody wants ownership of each other. In which, like I say, like with me and my wife, like if there was an inkling of somebody else being able to, you know what I mean? I'm not fucking with, I'm out. Like this, that's not even like a, you know what I mean? That's not even a thought. Like the same thing for her. If she was actually able to know, if she knew that I ain't.
It didn't change. It didn't change. That didn't change. That was always like that.
But you just said that, but they knew though.
Yes. But she's yours and she is yours.
So you get both.
You get both.
So the side piece.
Okay, so it's either that or the side piece step off and you just only have this person over here, which now you was here and now you back here. So which one you gonna choose? You're gonna choose to go back here, or you're gonna accept the terms. So we all adults.
So just to make
I'm
sure
saying back then, it was you adults. It's a decision that you make.
Right.
So either you was happy here and you enjoying the time you was here and you willing to go back to there, or you accept it. And it's rules that comes with it. And the thing about it is, if I'm sitting over here and you got money and you taking care of me, and I'm living off of your dime, you and your wife over there, y'all doing good, whatever. I done fucked up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm ass out. And I come to you and all the time, and I say, hey, bro, I need this. OleHead, I need this. You know what I mean? I got to keep this on. I got to pay this, whatever the case may be. You have every right to expect something of me. Whether it's you want to see what I'm doing with my money, or you want to, whatever it is, whatever your stipulations are. You have a right to have those, because I'm coming to you expecting you to have my back. And this is not, because it's just a scenario. So this is a whole separate household. But there's certain things that I can't do that you can help me do. Then you have a right to expect certain things from me. And you can say, I can say no.
Right.
I don't want you to, I don't want to have to tell you that. I don't have to show you my bills. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. And then what you gonna say? Well, pay the motherfuckers then. Don't ask me for nothing else. You got that right.
And see, and the thing is that, like,
but see, you ain't answer you ain't answer
me a question.
I ain't asked you a question, but I gave you a scenario for you to comment on, and I feel like that you skipping. So don't skip out on me. So
I'm not skipping out. What I understand what you're saying, and so like that's the thing that's always been able to be wielded. Like if someone that's in a lesser scenario, you could, like, if you can throw money, and money will buy. It's just like the daywalkers on Sugar Creek. You know what I mean? They're looking to exchange for the resource. And I'm not, what I'm saying is that like to me, it's like, and I ain't no holier than thou guy, but what I'm gonna say is that, like, I feel that it's like taking advantage of a motherfucker that need help.
Okay. So
and so this is just, you wanted me to answer
Go
it,
ahead.
and this is what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
And at the same time, it's like, if that person is volunteering and actually okay with it, then y'all got y'all thing going, right? Y'all got y'all thing going, and
that's what they did when they accepted it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And if that's, as long as your old lady knows, and you know what I mean. You ain't sitting here the secretively doing, you know what I mean. All of this crazy. To me, I think that like
they don't want to know. They don't want to know.
I mean,
they don't want to know. I'm giving you some of your granddaddy's game.
Yeah, you saying they don't want. They
don't want to know.
I understand what you're saying, but like,
they don't want to know. They just say they want to know. That's just like we be talking about women always saying stuff or asking for stuff and really don't want it. Like information. If I told you the truth, then you're going to be unhappy. But as long as I lie to you about said thing, then you're okay. You might visit it every once in a while, but if the story never changes, you're okay.
Just the idea of
now, if I told you,
don't hurt you.
Exactly. But if I told you,
that was something that we had a female.
And the thing about it is, hold up, here, let me close it up with this right here. 99.9% of the time, they already know. They just want you to tell them no so they can feel better about it. They already know.
I think that, I don't know.
I'm talking about not like they saw it, not like that they can put their hand on thing, but they feel it.
Man,
they even when it ain't even happening, they feel that way.
Yeah, I don't even want to
go down there.
That's the type of shit to piss a nigga off. You ain't doing nothing, motherfucker. Still acting like they got some fucking. What do they call it? What are the intuition shit?
You know, I live with. You know how many times I had to live with that. Even when I wasn't doing anything, I was doing something.
Yeah, I don't believe in that shit.
Even when I wasn't doing anything, you know, I don't have to be doing shit. All I gotta do is be in the company of somebody, and I'm doing some shit. I ain't did a goddamn thing, but I'm still guilty. And and then the person still be there.
Yeah.
Well, so all they want you to do is to keep telling that lie. They want you to tell that lie.
No, I mean, if you're doing it, they probably want you to tell the lie. But if you ain't doing it, then
even if you ain't doing it, you still doing it. So that's why I say it the way I say it.
Yeah, that's
even if you ain't doing it, you still doing it.
That's the bullshit. I mean, no, I won't say it because, like, I know. Well, shit, who knows what goes on in people's relationships? But let's go to the comments. Sherry Young, she said, most men can't even afford one wife, let alone two.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true. You said most men. I mean, yeah, at 40, at average being like 40, I think it's like 46 for like black men. Average income is like 46. Yeah, you can't afford two. Can't afford two. The uncle said, women expect you to lie to them in their own mind. When they get a man to tell them the truth, they be so confused that they hate you for telling the truth. They hate you for telling them the truth.
That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah. They rather live with the lie than have to deal with the truth. That's exactly what Unc said. They would rather live with the lie than deal with the truth. 99, I'm not gonna say 99. 85 to 90% of the time, they ain't going no damn well. And then, you know, looking at my dad, the older you get, the older people get, and just being reality, the less options you have. So if you look at women aren't stupid. If you look at what you got in this relationship and you compare it to the past ones, and you compare it to what you see around you with a real open eye, damn the girlfriend shit, and you think what they got, I'm talking about really can see and know what's going on. Yeah. You're going to stay your ass where you was at because you'll realize the likelihood that you will get better, especially if you're a good dude. Hey. The likelihood that we know, I ain't calling no names. They had a situation. They broke up. Some shit happened. And then everybody said, they'll never get together again. They'll never get together again. And now nobody knows whether they'll get together again or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you leave a situation that's working and then something happened, nobody's perfect. I'm not saying this, whatever happened in the situation should have happened or was right for it to happen. That's not the point. The point is that your options decrease every year. And for a man, your options increase once you get to a certain point. So you fall off.
And then
you come back up.
Too.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because you're getting older.
Right.
It does. But the point is, in society, just like you saying, the norms, a man becomes more valuable on the other side of 50 to where, you know, when he's still able to get around and move and do things the way, you know what I'm saying? He becomes more valuable at that point. A woman is more valuable at 18 to 30. Those are her years. And then her value starts going down after that.
And I've heard that being said, and I've not necessarily disagreed with it, right? But then let's think about this. Okay. So the reason that's said, the reason why that's made sense to be true, right, is because men have out-earned women for, you mean, the entirety of time. Like,
but
men have out-earned women.
The tables have turned.
Right. And so, but the thing is that, like, I wonder if there'll be a shift, because the reason why it makes sense is because women value men who are valuable, right, in the finance side. Men don't generally care about a woman being valuable in that same way.
I understand.
Right? But it seems as though that may be shifting. That may be shifting with this whole 50-50 conversation. Then we can get back to like the idea of, like, should men have pride in providing? Because, like, we've gotten to a point to where I can see where, like, guys will be like, no, I'm not even interested in
y'all. Y'all, your generation, that's y'all shit. That's y'all shit. Don't say no. Men got to men my ass. What generation are you?
At the end of
what generation are you? What is it called? X or Z or something?
I believe.
Z? Okay. Yeah, that's that Z shit.
Yeah.
And then what's the one under the X?
I don't know.
The younger ones under you?
Yeah.
Ain't they them shits right there. That's y'all shit. Yeah, that's y'all shit.
What I will say is that, like, and this is the thing about it, is, like, I think that we should definitely value providing, right?
Men my age, all of us can't do it. All of us can't do it.
Right.
But men my age, we do take pride in being able to say that I take care of my house. We do. We definitely do that. But y'all and under y'all take pride in saying, oh, she bought me this, she bought me that.
Yeah,
she did this, she did that.
I will say that I agree, because I probably done got more flack from saying, like, oh yeah, I'm more on the traditional side. I done got more flack for that shit than niggas get flack for saying the 50-50 shit.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's just because, like, the time that we in. And it's not like I ain't gonna say, oh yeah, I wanted to be the guy that takes care of the family and da-da-da. Like, that wasn't.
It wasn't plan. Your shit when you was younger.
Yeah,
it was not your
and
shit.
At the same time, like, I wouldn't. What I would say is that, like, I'm not a person to be like, oh yeah, a woman shouldn't work and da-da-da-da, niggas should take care. Like, I don't believe that either. I just, you know what I mean? If the situation, I don't think that you should not be with somebody because they you're as a man. I understand as a woman, you being like, okay, no, he needs to have this and that together. You know what I mean? But as a man, I don't think that, like, oh, she lived with her parents. Like, at my age, there's some women that live with their parents still.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that should mean that, oh yeah, she ain't qualified to, you know what I mean? If she's a good woman, then you should still consider it. It's not based on income on that side. I think that, like, but it seems as though that thing is shifting to where, like, men are like, okay, where do you work at? And you know what I mean? And how much are you making too? And then because we're doing the math. Go ahead.
So let's be clear. So you are with the man taking care of the house and all of this and taking care of his family.
I think a man should strive to do that. I
and-
believe that, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we align. I already knew we aligned, but I just wanted to make sure that, you know what I mean,
Oh yeah,
that people
I think
listening understand each one of our positions.
And I understand it, like, and I think this is the crazy thing is like, I think we do this with everything. We're at this point, we're doing this with so many different things. The idea that you can't do a thing, you'd rather demonize the thing that you can't do and act like what you're doing is the right way, versus saying like, nah, I wish I could do that, and hopefully I can get to a place where I can do that. You know what I mean? And you rather demonize. It's like, bro, that's like with everything. We're doing that shit with everything.
Dudes do that. Dudes do that. Dudes will, you taking care of your woman or your wife or whatever, you take care of her. And I don't care how nagging she is, because they nagging. We nagging too, though.
Yeah.
We nagging too.
Perfect.
But I don't care how nagging she is or whatever. You make sure she got everything she needs. You make sure the kids got what they need. All of that. You pretty much provide everything. And I myself take my hat off to you, especially the way you deal with your children. The relationship that you have with them, the way you're trying to raise them and all that. And you don't let nobody veer your thoughts on how that should be done. And so for that, I do take my hat off to you. But at the same time, it's so many in your generation and yours that don't believe in taking care of the woman. Now, sometimes taking care of the woman ain't her sitting at home. Sometimes she gotta work. But as a man, I feel like that you should put, if you can, because things change, like you say. Sometimes women make more than men. Most it's gonna look like it's gonna be a lot of times.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing what you can do, and she can see that you're doing what you can do, then she should make you feel like a man still in that relationship. And you should demand that is so, because that will eat you apart.
Oh, it's definitely going in the long run. In the long run, and that's the thing. Like what'll happen is that a lot of the times, and I think men and women both do this. What we'll do is we'll ignore red flags. When we talk about red flags, I don't really like talking about it, but in this scenario, to speak on it in the way that I would like to speak on it, like we'll ignore the flags and then still go on with the shit. In the long run, you not feeling like a man ain't gonna work for you. Her not treating you like a man is not gonna work for you.
Definitely.
Regardless of if it's like, to me, I think that if you're stepping up, I believe that, in my opinion, a man should make a woman's life easier. I believe that she should make your life easier too. But at the end of the day, the things that the things that are like the hard things, the thing you should be, your whole mind should be foresight.
Exactly.
Which is going to be a lot of the responsibility. It still lands on your back, because you need to maintain the future as your point of rep. Like you're always looking
your trajectory
for sure.
It's out there.
You know what I mean? And I think that, like, and honestly, we're in a time where it's like women they own businesses too. So like some guys are like that women own businesses, and then they'll get on to what they're doing. And you know what I mean? Look, bro, whatever works for you works for you.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
I think that,
but in all of those scenarios, she should never ever not feel like you are the man, because it's the 100%. Man, because it's your man. It's the man. She always should. But when they moving around, and I'm one of them people. I don't pay. I don't really comment on a lot of stuff. Ask a lot of questions. These kind of things. But when you see somebody moving in a manner in which or a husband or wife shouldn't move, maybe they be in a scenario where they got more than you got, or they in a better position, like we talking about now, than you are, whatever, and you see they moving in a manner in which my. You know what I'm saying? My. Every time you turn around, it's my. They don't try to use the word. It's like they moving in a way where they making sure that you don't benefit in the relationship the same as they would if it was you. See, because a man, when he in a relationship or a marriage with a woman, he don't move in a manner in which he trying to make sure that she don't get certain things. You know what I'm saying? But a woman that's got more than you will move in a manner in which she is trying to make sure that if anything happened, you don't get nothing. You know, or you don't get certain things.
You know why I think that is?
But you can't do that though. As a man, you can't do it.
You know why I think that it is that we naturally, well, some guys, in which, like I said, when I was younger, I was like that. Like when I was younger, and I had to learn how to be more selfless. You know what I mean? I had to learn how to be more selfless. I got married at 20 years old. And so like I didn't know how to be a husband. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to be, you know what I mean? I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I was much more selfish and self-centered because like all I knew was taking care of myself. So you have to, being a leader, being a man, being a leader, a man, like to me, I think that these are learned behaviors.
Oh yeah.
Like just because you're a male don't mean that you can lead. That's just that's just right. Not it. But right. But the point, what I was trying to say was that I think that men will naturally go into that or learn, they will naturally learn how to not be as selfish and like try to like keep everything to yourself, because like you're naturally in the dominant position anyway. Like I'm already stronger than you. Yeah. I'm bigger than you. Yeah. So I can, you know what I mean? I naturally, my entire life, I'm looking at women. I have to understand that they're going to need more help. You know what I mean? To take advantage of a woman as a man, it's like, bro, what the fuck? Yeah, you already, you know what I mean? That's like beating up on the little guy. Like, what the fuck are you even doing that for? Like, you OD. Yeah, I mean that's some whack nigga shit. Like for real. Yeah, nobody gets credit for beating up the fucking little guy. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm not trying to make women more like undervalue them at all, because I value them heavily. But I'm just saying, I think that as a man, because of the physical things the physical attributes that we have that are superior, you should. Some niggas is just fucked up. You know what I mean? You should naturally want to put the woman in a better situation. You should naturally want to take care of. That's like children. It's the same like with children. Like you should naturally want to take care of and feed the, you know what I mean? And push them to the furthest that they can go. And I don't know in today's time, but I do also understand that like it takes two incomes. In today's time, like 100,000 ain't what it was. 20 years ago. Yeah, making 100,000 a year.
But you know, like you say, women got more nowadays and stuff. Yeah. They can have $100,000, make 100,000 by themselves. And the thing of it is when you get in a relationship like that and you just watch. They don't move the same way we do. It's my thing. My thing is they move in a way is they trying to protect everything they got from you. But as a man, you don't move like that. You don't move like that. Everything is mine. And then when the relationship, because it's natural, even if you try not to, subconsciously, you do, then you start to just do you. Basically, because you already know that this person is in a relationship with you and their whole shit is to make sure that you don't benefit from them in no kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you can see it. You know what I mean? That they make sure you don't benefit from them in no type of way. But a man don't move like that. And then when you once that set in on you and you notice it and whatnot, and then you start moving like you want to move because you ain't got nothing to lose. You ain't got nothing to lose. Now they trying to figure out why the man doing this, why the man doing that. We ain't stupid. We see y'all. We just don't, like, if a woman saw you making moves and stuff and making plans and stuff to make sure that you couldn't get nothing, and then they lie to you about what'll happen if anything happened to them or whatever the case, or y'all or whatever the case. They lie. Then years later, they tell you stuff like, well, I didn't tell you, but such and such supposed to get this and such supposed to get that. But we had a conversation in the beginning and none of this never came up. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. Women move different when they got shit than men move. Because it's a given. It's a given that if y'all end, they can have.
But see, you know something else. You know something else that I believe too. I believe that we've come into a time where women are doing very well financially, and this is just it's new.
That's right.
This is a new time, and so imagine that men were the ones that were not allowed to do this legally, couldn't do all of these things, and they weren't. You know what I mean? And then you get to a point to where now we're doing better than y'all.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna better tell them shit. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna better tell us shit. It's gonna be big as fuck. You know what I mean? And we gonna talk the shit, how we gonna talk it, and it's the level of this confidence and this, you know what I mean? It'll be as big as it is on their side too, if you were subjected to the same things that they were subjected to, and you're getting these first this and first that. The first woman is such and such. The first woman.
That's
what I'm saying is that, bro,
I disagree.
I just give them. I just
men
feel like
men,
bro, niggas
when
you OD like you dragging their nuts too, bro.
You can drag your nuts. You can do all of that. But if you marry this woman, if this woman is your woman and this your person, this who you want to be with. It's the natural instinct, like the lions in the goddamn jungle. It's a natural instinct.
That what?
That you take care of her. It's a natural instinct.
And see, this is the thing. I think that, and I'm glad you said that, because now I think that we're evolving in different areas, right? So men, what we're saying is that like men are taking care of their kids and being like parenting at a black men. I'm specifically talking about black men. We're taking care and present with our children more than any other race of men currently. And then see, the thing is that as men, we're the earners. What we've been told is that we need more of these the connection, these interpersonal kind of like you know what I mean, like to talk more. That stoicism is not as big as it was back then. To be more emotionally matured, you know what I mean, in tune, and these different things. And so we're maturing in those areas. And then what we're saying is that the women are maturing in the way that we were before. Now they're valuing the money. Grind. Yeah, they on the grind, having them careers. Like, it was funny. The comments said, I was like, on one of the posts, I was like, when we were talking about the black women, they got jobs. No, we got careers. You know what they said in the comment. I'm like, hey, well, touche. Yeah, you got it. But like, so they're valuing that shit more than, and so it's like we're kind of, it's shifting to where like dudes are trying to be more nurturing, and the women are trying to be more earning.
Yeah, but is they ready for that though? Are you ready for a nurturing man? Because to me, it's kind of hard to be brawly and nurturing. You know what I mean? So women, you asking for something, society is moving men in your age group into being more in touch with their feelings. Yeah. And being more attentive. And being more emotional.
Right.
But are they really ready for that? Obviously, is that really what they want?
What we're seeing,
you see what I'm saying?
We're seeing that that's not
if you
what they
really want this nigga, you know what I'm saying?
That's gonna tell you when you fucking up right then and checking everything. Yeah.
I don't think no woman want no man that's gonna be smelling up under her goddamn skirt 24/7. Yeah. That shit sound good. You know what I mean? When you talking, that shit sound good. You don't want that nigga under you 24/7. You don't want it. Weird. You don't want it. And he don't want you up under his sack 24/7. But if he get more nurturing and caring and all of this stuff, then he's gonna be there. And then what you gonna do? Hey. As a woman, is that really what you want? Sometimes we ask for shit that we don't want.
No. I not 100% agree with that. I think that like and the funniest thing is that like the list of sassy nigga shit, the shit that niggas can't do, you damn near borderline gay. Like it's a long fucking list.
Yes, it is.
It's a long fucking list.
Yes, it is.
And like at the end of the day, you're asking for men to be what it is it's almost and man, that's crazy to say. Like
Less
to think like
masculine.
less masculine is the
Less
word.
masculine.
But my thing is it less masculine, or did we define masculinity in the wrong way to start with?
Okay. I can agree with what you just said. I can agree with that part. But did we do that, or did they do that?
What specifically? What do you mean?
Define our masculinity.
Well, I think that there was a time period where men had to be different. You know what I mean? Like there was a time period where men had to be different. And now, even though it doesn't seem like it, it seems like crime and all this shit is worse now, and all these things are so much worse. But I mean, if you look at the statistics, like shit's getting better.
And that's the
what
thing.
they've just done is
that's
put
because
fear.
The internet. It's the internet.
Yeah, you
didn't know about all that stuff.
Yeah,
you just knew what was going on around you.
Yeah,
now this shit is worldwide. So now it looks like it's getting worse. It's just you got more information.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right.
It's actually getting better. Statistically, it's getting better.
Yeah.
And we as a people are doing better.
But I think that the craziest thing is that like when things were so much worse, there was a level of like morality and like things. There was the level of there was a consistency of right and wrong. You know what I mean? There was a consistency of it. Like there wasn't nowhere where you would just there was some place you can go and do some shit and everybody was just doing it. But like for the entirety of society, like there was some like, no, we don't fuck with that. We don't fuck with that. We don't fuck with that. And the craziest thing is like as things are getting better, the morals are getting lower and lower. Like the morality is like literally dissipating as things get easier and more comfortable. Motherfuckers are just doing everything. And we're supposed to be accepting this and saying that it's okay.
It's just like, that's just like the OGs in the city or in the neighborhood or whatever. If you was hitting old people over the head, that was no. That was no. You liable to get done in. You know what I'm saying? But now, dude down the street was jumping on the young boy was trying to jump on the dude down the street. He killed dude, shot him. Older dude shot him and killed him. You didn't see that in my day.
Yeah.
You didn't see young dudes fighting older men. You gave your eye pop and go.
Yeah.
That's what you did. Even if he was wrong.
Yeah.
You were just like, that's an old dude. Go about your business. Now, square
fight, bro.
Bro.
Yeah, that fight,
beat bro up. You know what I mean? Mess him up bad.
Yeah.
Trying to get their 15 minutes of fame. Somebody out there doing this. You know what I'm saying? That shit didn't happen.
Yeah.
Two old dudes might be fighting, but they wasn't no young boys.
Yeah. We can say it's getting better. I think that for sure. Like
I'm like Pop though.
Crime and shit is getting
Bring
better.
Your little young ass up over here. I think you're finna get 15 minutes of fame. You're gonna get 15. You're gonna get 15 last breaths.
15 slugs.
15 last breaths. I'm telling you, I'm not playing with you.
We're gonna go to the comments real quick. Shout out to appreciate you in the chat. He going crazy. He said, as a man, you got to do what you do. As a man, you got to be who you are and understand that these women are confused in the head because they so backed up with checking and third generation toilet. They say they only want you to do what they think is right. If another woman says right, but a man that they love can tell them you're doing right and they fall out with them, women love women's opinions. I'm not quite sure. Then he said, remember what your pop just said, 1830. He quoted the time. He said, after that is dwindled down, but these women want to think their sexual proudness years around 43 to 50 is the greatest years of their life. Now that's crazy. If I don't know if they think that, but that's
Hey,
crazy to think
boy,
that
you
43
see
to
him?
50 is a prime
Yeah.
years is crazy.
Yeah.
Then he said, it's no pride in providing today because you can take 100% of everything. And modern day women will say that's enough. That's not enough. That's why I will always say, if you can bring $50, I don't have. If you can't bring $50, I don't have $50. And up going ham in that bit.
If you can't bring $50, don't have $50.
Well, I mean, I get it. I get it. I think that like as time is going on, and I wonder too, like it's not a wonder because ain't nothing new under the sun. There was always the sack chasing women.
Oh yeah.
Even back in the day, you could say like, "Oh, niggas don't want to help women." What we've seen is that like you fuck around and they just be getting free food from hella niggas.
That's what
There's women now going on a couple dates a day, eating and drinking for the free. And niggas is like, bro, I'm not finna sit here. Huh?
That's a foodie hoe.
Yeah.
That's a foodie hoe.
What I'm just saying is that like we at some point,
as
like,
long as you buying a plate, she got them coming to eat a foodie hoe. That's a foodie hoe.
I feel it. And I mean that makes sense. But it's like y'all did that during y'all time period where you mean you would just help.
That's because during my time period, you actually courted a woman. Y'all don't court women.
What do you mean? We don't court.
In my time, you took women out to eat.
For nothing.
For nothing. For nothing. You took them out to eat. That was process of getting to know them. You know, on the weekends that day was off, you was off on the weekends. Y'all make the day, y'all go out to eat, go dance and whatever. And you ain't getting shit. Maybe get a kiss on the jaw. Might get a kiss on the lip. That's all you got.
Yeah, nigga.
That's all you got.
You know what fucked it up when R&B music turned into, and I'm gonna stand on this now. I believe that it went from the R. Kelly to the Chris Brown, and once Chris Brown got in there, it turned into fucking. like it wasn't no serenade. You know what I mean? It was none of that. And R. Kelly was talking about fucking too, but he was also trying to make you feel good. Well, hold on, let's look. He might have been talking about young girls. We're gonna leave R. Kelly to the side. But what I'm saying, excuse me, the transition of R&B music was like, it turned into like, they might as well be rappers. It's explicit and explicitly right in your face.
Yeah.
Because before, like they would say the thing, but you would have to know.
You have
to know kids didn't know what the fuck was really being said.
Yeah, exactly.
You know like
you was listening to music back in the day that we was listening to it, and you come up now and you listen to it and it be saying a whole different thing.
Yeah. You didn't get it as a kid.
Yeah, you didn't get it.
Now they just saying it.
They just saying it.
That's the same reason why you used to get the rap feature on the R&B record. Ain't no need to have the rapper on there because you saying the same shit bro was saying anyway.
Exactly.
You don't even need bro to say that. You know, you had the Avant, that one you like, the Avant Lil Wayne. That what is that? Damn, what is it? That's it. When the JD was on the joint. Damn. Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
I want to. You know what? You know.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, He didn't. Now they gonna say,
you don't need waiting on that joint. He was talking about your legs in the chain, my hands in your hair. You know what I mean? That was the rap part. The rap part was the explicit part. But now the singing, you know what I mean? You just getting dropped off. It's just I'm gonna tell you. I just want to drop. I don't fuck with you like that for real. Just get dropped off. That was like rapper shit.
Yeah.
But now they just, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But I guess we'll transition over. No, we're not transitioning.
How long we been on this mug?
I don't know, man. We gonna just do this last one real quick because we was gonna talk about the I don't want to see you. I came to see my kids. Right. It's the co-parenting thing. The idea
was
of
it really the co-parenting thing, or was it the fact that what's that we saw? Was it the co-parenting thing, or was it more so the? Let me see here. See, you know you done got old when you got to raise your glasses up.
Yeah, I know that old nigga shit when I see it.
Or was it where's it? Oh yeah, was it about the child support that led us into that? The thing about the child support. Yeah.
What specifically?
Women need to let the people at child support know that the father is doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's taking time with his kids.
Oh, the idea of,
you see what I'm saying?
Of not
and
letting them come up with the number and y'all
and
coming
letting
up
them,
with the number.
Yeah, or letting them raise his support every 3 years, because they you see that's the thing. We for everybody that's listening, what we're talking about is I saw a video meme, whatever you want to call it. I saw one where this dude was taking care of his old lady. I don't know if it was his wife. I didn't get all that. It was just a little snippet of a clip I saw. I don't know if it was his wife or his girlfriend, but anyway, they've been together for some years because they got like a 3-4-year-old child that's his and hers. But then she had a child before they got together. And she had the child before they got together, and she had the father on child support. Okay. And the dude, which is either her husband or her boyfriend, whatever it was, he was talking to her about it. And he was telling her that she, asking her why wouldn't she let bro off of the child support?
Yeah.
Because he take care of everything in the house, including his child. That's not his child.
His, right.
You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm taking care of all y'all. I make sure all of y'all have what you need. You know what I'm saying? So why don't you just let bro off? You know what I'm saying? She told him that she wasn't going to let him off. Number one, it took her a long time to even say what she was thinking. So I'm thinking the fact of the matter is that she didn't really want to put it out there like that. But she said she was going to keep him on child support because that helped her make sure she can get her hair done when she need to get her hair done and get her nails done. And she might, keep herself looking pretty and all of this kind of stuff. And bro was saying, but who you doing all that for though? He said, even if you didn't have his money from child support, you still can do those things. You got a job. She said, yeah, but I still need his money. And it was like, but I take care of everything. What do you need his money for? And so what I was talking about was through my experiences and things that I learned about child support, because I done been on it for a lot of years. So I got a lot of experience with those people. But anyway, I was like, we go downtown in front of that judge being taken to child support, and we think sometimes, not all the time, but we think that the mother of the child, because I done heard people in there argue, the mother of the child is the one that brought us to child support for an increase. It don't be them. Sometimes it don't be them. Sometimes it is, but sometimes, a lot of times it don't be them. They just get a letter in the mail, just like you get a letter in the mail.
Yeah, and it says that it's her
versus you. Yeah. That's right. And it says her versus you. She ain't called them people and asked them people for nothing. She ain't told them to raise your child support or nothing. And then, because I'm a victim, I did it. I'm guilty. I raised hell at my baby mama because my child support went up. And because I was like, you did it. It says here on the letter.
Yeah.
That you did it. But they don't be done it. Child support be done it because they get 66 cents out of every dollar more, or the dollars they already getting and the new dollars, they get 66 cents on every dollar that they get coming in there. So it benefits them to raise your child support. So when your baby mama and you go in that room and y'all negotiating and them people from child support trying to tell you how much that you can let him get not pay or pay, because I done had them do that. Because even with y'all, went down there. Sharon said she was going to drop the child support. The lady said, you can't drop all of it. We can let him do a half. I had to ask the judge. I said, Your Honor, is it her decision on whether or not I pay her back what y'all say I owe her? Or is it this woman's decision over here? And the judge looked at Sharon and said, did you tell him that you was going to drop all his child support? She stood up and she said, yes, sir, I did. And they dropped it.
Yeah.
And child support was fighting for her to keep that child support enforced.
Yeah, no, I ain't go fraud. Shout out to Mom Dukes, because Mom Dukes was one of them ones that, like, I can tell you, like, honestly,
right.
she
I
came and
always give
asked
her
me and
flowers.
Jasmine. She came and asked me and Jasmine, do we want her to drop it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, before going to the courthouse, she literally came and asked us,
Mm-hmm.
do we want her? And we said yes. And she literally went in there and did that. And
Yeah.
we wasn't in no great position. We was fucked up, living
Yeah.
right off of what's that? Off of Bradford.
Bradford. Yeah.
Right off Bradford, right across the street from Thomasboro
Yeah.
Elementary, Ravenwood Hills.
Yeah.
One way in, one way out, motherfucking apartments. Them,
Yeah.
You go over there now. It's crazy when I go over there and see, like, when I was younger, I was small, so the buildings looked a lot bigger. When you go over there now, nigga, it looks exactly like it did when that was fucking 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago, that shit looks exactly the same. The fucking hood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We was over there and she was willing to, you know what I mean, drop it. Like, and then I'll give you your flowers because I talk shit about how you kind of, you talking about some, but if she needed me, I was there, and I'll be like, No. Mom Dukes, I talked to Mom Dukes earlier this week, and she said that she can't remember a time that you wouldn't. If she called, that she can't remember a time that you wasn't willing to, you know what I mean, help out.
See,
you know what I mean?
That's the thing. See, that's why I always give her flowers, is because she keep it real. You know what I mean? She keep it real. And that's the thing that y'all don't know about. See, back then you didn't know that your mama was calling me, and I was dropping off, and I was doing what, bringing food and giving her money. I don't care if she was with somebody. See, I say that, and I can see the look in your eye when I used to say that.
Yeah, I can say that shit sounds suspect. Yeah, it sounds suspect. Believe it like that.
She told you, and you didn't even ask her about it.
No. She just told me.
She just told you.
Yeah. That was fire. I actually put some respect on your name for that, because, like I say, only thing I remember is the shit like, oh, you come in and then you don't show up. You know, the stuff that,
because I was
the negative stuff, but and we don't tend to, like, and I appreciate for her for telling the truth. There's a lot of the times what they, and it was funny because another meme that I had posted from our previous show, it was talking about the you were talking about not talking shit about, don't drag the man to your kids. And essentially what and I understand that you feel a way, and so what you want is you want everybody to feel the same way that you feel about the person. That person. That narrative that you're creating, that emotion that you have, you're doing is you're projecting that onto the children, because you really feel that way. And I understand it, and I understand how hard it is not to actually talk the negatives that you feel around the kids. But the thing is that
she didn't do it.
The thing about it, she didn't do it, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I was able to forgive. Even the stuff afterwards.
That shows that any woman listening to this can see. This is my son. I'm his father. I was married to his mother, and I had him and his sister. We had him and his sister. And her not talking negatively about me, about what happened between us and whatnot, allowed my son to forgive me for the ill feelings that he had against me because I wasn't always there. It allowed him to do that. So this is a perfect example of what y'all do to your children and what position you put their fathers in their minds and in their lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the thing is you can sit there and like I've talked to child support before. If y'all come up with a number, y'all can agree, sign the paperwork, and y'all can come up with a number that's feasible. The thing is that your child or y'all's child would be better if he's in a better situation.
Exactly.
You're thinking about what you can get, but the thing is that you want the father to be present. He wants to be present, but he also wants to be in a decent place to where he can take care of his responsibilities.
Exactly.
The better that he's doing and the better you're doing, even if y'all aren't together.
That's right.
The better the child will be. The better the child will be. That's period. Right. Like if he can do well and you can do well, then the child will be fine.
And then the other side of that coin is the fact that he know you looking out for him.
And he gonna look the
fuck out for you, for sure. Even though y'all not together. Just like I did when his mom was dating other people, and she called me for help while she was dating those people, and I still came, and I still dropped off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we can help each other. What these people down there at child support is doing, I had to I actually cussed one out in front of the judge and had to go to jail. So your mama was there then.
Yeah, that's a
you
fact.
know what I mean?
That's a fact.
And yeah, what they're doing is driving a wedge between the mother and father and causing the child to have to pay for it. And they're there, quote unquote, for the child, to make sure the child is protected or the child is taken care of and have resources and this and the third. But the real thing is they looking out for their own pockets. They don't care nothing about you. They don't want you and the baby mama to get along, because y'all can get together and come up with a number that both of y'all can live with, and she still can get every benefit that she was going to get if they raised it
100%.
Or they decreased it.
100%.
It don't change nothing about the money that you or benefits that you get. And the father going to feel better about you, which is going to in turn allow you to feel better about him. And the child will see that. Yeah. You and the father fighting like that, the child sees that. And she talks that mess about you because she feel like you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that.
And at the same time, so like, let's not all, well, at the end of the day, I agree with everything you're saying. But then we can't just like, and this is the thing, like on the comments, they always be like, women feel attacked from male podcasts. We also are not talking about just, you mean Joe Blow that just want to fucking, he just out here just having fucking kids and want to still do, you know what I mean, and buying himself Jordans and shit, and the kids ain't got, no. And we ain't talking about him because he the fuck is out here. He's the fuck out here.
He's definitely out here.
He's the fuck out here for sure. You know what I mean? And we acknowledge him. And you know what I mean? At the end of the day, what we try to do is to be as fair as we can as men. We're also going to be speaking from a male perspective, which is, you know what I mean? It's going to be different than what you're speaking from a female perspective, which is something that we don't know and don't really understand how to speak from that perspective. But at the same time, I know a good bit of guys that are great guys. Niggas motherfuckers that go and get their kids, nigga that's doing homework with the kids on the weekend to keep the package up. They got, you know what I mean, the packet because the homework ain't being done. I know homies that, like, I got homies that's like getting fucked up by the child support system and shit. And these are like niggas that's like literally doing what the fuck they supposed to be doing.
And the mother doing better than he is.
100%.
And won't give the brother no slack. Pick his kids up every weekend.
And the thing is that, and we'll end this conversation here. And shout out to everybody that looked in, that's in the chat and everything. We appreciate it. Love you, man.
Definitely.
What society has driven us to not care about each other.
That's right. That's right.
And the only way that we gonna be able to actually build the community and actually push ourselves forward is to start caring about each other.
Exactly.
At the very least, you telling me you can't care about the motherfucker that you had that baby with? At the very least, I ain't talking about doing all of this community work type of stuff. I ain't talking, but you talking about the very child that you have in your house that you claim to love so much. You know what I mean? That you claim to love so much. You don't think that bruh is important? You don't think that he needs to see, or he and or she, your daughter or son, needs to see their father grow up to be a man, understand how men think? We have a lot to give.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. I ain't talking about it, bro. First off, if you've been messing with bro, you had a baby with a nigga that's out here doing all this gang banging and rah with Pooh Shiesty mask and shit on. I mean, hey, that's on you. That was a dumb fucking decision. And hey, you gotta wear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing real, you gotta wear it. But at the same time, in reality, most people aren't just bad people. In reality, we know that like most people aren't just inherently just want the worst for everybody. You know what I mean? We're just not like just bad people. You gotta fucking work it out.
Exactly.
Because it's not about you. You are actually the least important. The child's the most important in the scenario.
And that's the one that get hurt the most by y'all not sitting down and having 100%. A conversation and coming up with something. You know what I'm saying? Because he can't see his father in a lens that is not open. If you don't open, if the child, and most of the time it is with the mother. If that child is with you, you have to open that lens and be careful how you open it and what you point it towards. Because whatever's in that lens is what the child gonna see. And you are the lens holder. So you speaking bad on this man and calling this man out of his name in front of the child, I don't care if you do it with your girlfriends. If you got to get it off, that's who you get it off with. But you don't do it in front of his kids. Don't demonize their father to them. Allow him to be something positive. You ain't got to build him up. Just don't tear him down. Don't tear him down. You ain't got to say nothing good. Just don't say nothing bad.
Yeah.
If you can't say nothing good, don't say nothing bad. Just let the child come up with their own scenario or picture, whatever you want to call of their father. And in some cases, their mother is missing. And the same thing goes for the fathers. But usually, the fathers are not ones to beat down the other one to their children. Usually, that's a mama thing. Now, there are always exceptions to the rule. You know what I mean? There could be a scenario because there's somebody out there can say, "Oh yeah, you know, hey, I'm sorry. I wish it wasn't so." But for the most part, it's the mothers. And these people downtown, I really want to put emphasis on this. These people downtown, them people at child support, it's mostly women. And seem like to me, if you check out the way they treat you and stuff as a man when you go in there, they be bitter as fuck. It's like, this is the job you get to pay him back or to get back at your baby daddy, or you know what I mean? That's the way it seems, because those women down there at child support are so bitter and they act so nasty to men. And they don't care how bad or how much they do. I'm not gonna go into my story with the child support people because we're at the end of this thing, and that's gonna take a minute. But I'm telling you, ladies, please talk to your son or your daughter's father and come and work out something with him. The money ain't to take care of you. It's to take care of the baby. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all work together, I promise you, in most cases, you will even get more for your child. Pick your child up, take them to ball practice, put them in something after school activity, pick them up and give you a break. You can even call buddy. You going out with somebody, whoever they is, Joe Blow. And you can say, hey, I got a date. I need a babysitter. Bro, I said, I got you. You know what I mean? Because you looking out for me. He'll say, I got you. Y'all, your relationship over. Y'all can be cordial to each other.
And co-parent.
Exactly.
And so, then, bro, too, nigga, hey,
yeah,
you it's something too that, like, not only are you need to be consistent, and that's something I think consistency, intentionality, and consistency is probably the two most important words. Not that I'm just gonna say in manhood, but in general, I think it's on both sides. You know what I mean? You're only as good as your word. You're only as good as your word. So don't keep up your end of the bargain too. Keep up your end of the bargain, because that consistency is what's going to drive that beautiful relationship. And that's with your kids too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hell, honestly, it get to a point to where, like, I don't allow people to I don't tell my kids when somebody say they're going to do something, because your motherfucking ass might not do it.
And you don't want your child.
And so ain't no need for me. I can be the buffer between that. You know what I mean? A surprise is great. You know what I mean? A surprise is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you also don't want to build your kids' expectations up to a thing that you aren't going to deliver on. Surprise them. Tell the mom, don't tell them that I'm coming. You know what I mean? If you a motherfucker that shit be popping up, don't tell them you come. Tell you can communicate with her.
Yeah.
And let you know what I mean, have that relationship with her to where y'all can have that understanding.
Yeah.
And
you don't tell
exactly. She can pack the bag. She ain't gotta tell you know what I mean.
Yeah.
She'll pack the bag in the tuck, put it in her room. And you know what I mean, if you don't show up, it's not a smut on you know what I mean on you because the kid is not expecting this. But if you do show up, this is a great fucking day. This is fire. Like out of nowhere, I'm gonna go over here and peel out with pops. That's fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But say that to close. Spit fun. Go ahead.
One last thing. I was going to say, dang, boy, that old age right there, boy, I done lost it. I was trying to say that oh yes, ladies, if you was in a relationship with a man and bruh had, let's say, extra relationship affairs or whatever going on, and you can't trust him on that level, you know, he cheated on you, this, and the third. Because he cheated on you and because he lied to you about cheating on you, doesn't make him a liar. It makes him, it makes him a liar in that subject. But if you think about it, fuck you. If you think about it, on any other subject, on any other topic, if you can't honestly say that he tells you lies about that, then he's not a liar. If he tells you he lies about wait a minute. His whole thing, I'm telling you from a man, the perspective of that, his whole thing is protecting you from this situation. That's exactly what his mentality is. It ain't nothing you can do to change it. But that don't mean that you tell his children that he's a liar, or you tell somebody he's a liar, because that, to me, and this is my personal opinion, y'all can rag me out about it, I don't give a shit. Because you lie about one thing, it doesn't make you a liar. But a woman, if you lie about one thing, you lie about everything else. And my thing is if that's the only time you can tell me he told you a lie, he's not a liar. He's just protecting you from the other side of him.
Yeah, sounds like a fucking liar to me. But appreciate y'all tapping in. This has been Who You Talking To. We're here every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. over here when the fucking run to get a late glizzy, so we was a little late. But we got the To Be Fair show.
That's a lie. You a liar because you just lied.
The To Be Fair show is tomorrow. That's every Sunday at 4:30. We got Unpacked every Wednesday at 9:30. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed and be better to each other.
We out. Now you gotta get your ass up and turn it off.
Keep doing. All right, don't worry
about it. Bro, hey, bro, I'm 100 on that. I'm 100. I'm 100 on.